Yeah, welcome, my friends. Uh, we are just 5 minutes late. Today I will make it sanding bread. Uh, it's gonna be a lovely bread to make today. My name is Francis, and welcome to Cook with Chef Francis live on YouTube. Yesterday, I made fish pie, so I demonstrated how to make it. So I made the Nigerian one, is similar the Caribbean um, fish pie. So I made that one, and it came out perfectly fine. It was shiny and glossy. You know what I mean? Like, it looks beautiful, amazing. So today I'll be making sardine bread. The sardine bread, it's a very lovely bread. So I'll be making the loaf and the bread rolls. So I'll be right back, please. So we need to get our ingredients. Just a second, please. Thank you very much. Stay put, please. I'll be right back, my friends. Thank you. Yeah, my friends, thank you for tuning into this great channel. So today I'll be making sanding bread. The sanding bread is just like the milk bread. So I'll be putting sanding inside, and it's gonna come out very nice. So I'm gonna grab my recipes now. My ingredients. I need flour. So I'll get my flour now. I need flour. Of course, I need sanding, so I could be using I could use two sanding or just one, and one could be enough. But let's see how it goes. Um, Basically, I'll be making sanding bread, and I need sandings. I need um, flour. I also need my yeast, nutmeg. I need my nutmeg. I need yeast. So So I'll set that aside. I need this. I need warm water. I need a little bit of milk. So these are the basic ingredients: flour, sardine, nutmeg, yeast. I need pinch of salt. Uh, I need a little bit of olive oil. So I need olive oil, and I need um, yeah, I just remembered now. I need flavor. I need flavor. So I'll set that aside with my warm water. So I'll be right back, please. Thank you. Yeah, my friends, I'm back now. So I said today I'll be making sardine bread, and I introduced myself as Francis, and this is Cook with Chef Francis live on YouTube, making it real here on YouTube. So today I'll be making sardine bread, and it's similar to our milk bread. If you check out my previous live streams, I made milk bread. I also I made shea butter and the rest. But this is gonna be similar to the milk one. But I'll be putting sardine bread. I beg your pardon. I'll be putting sardine inside the bread, so it's gonna look absolutely gorgeous. I was making the loaf one. Putting that in the loaf pan, and I'm also gonna be making the bread roll as well. So I'll show you everything from start to finish. I'm gonna carry out my tasks. So now I got my ingredient with me. So I'll be using flour. So my flour, I'll be using 500 grams of flour, and I'll be adding a little bit of vanilla flavor. So I'll be using 1 teaspoon of vanilla flavor. I'll be adding 1 tablespoon of nutmeg because I want my bread to be spicy. So I'm gonna add that straight into my flour. Of course, I need sea salt. I always tell my viewers that you could use table salt if you want to, but I love using sea salt. I use sea salt, I use rock salt in cooking and in baking because they add flavor and nutrient to my ingredient, to my food. So now I'll be using sea salt, just a pinch of sea salt. Then I'll be adding a little bit of olive oil, about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. That should be enough. That's gonna be alright for my sardine bread. Of course, I'll be using yeast. So of course, if you're making bread and you don't put your yeast, it's not gonna come out well. Of course, you can make bread with your baking powder. If you check out my previous videos on how to make soda bread, I use baking powder to make my soda bread. So check out my playlist, check out my videos. You're gonna see different kind of bread. You can check out my bread playlist. Of course, check out my live stream playlist. check out my dessert playlist, check out my starters and main course playlist, check out my cocktail drinks playlist. You're gonna see variety of food and lovely dishes, all over the world. Dishes from the US, dishes from the Caribbean, dishes from America, dishes from Europe, dishes from India, dishes from all over the world, Nigeria and all that. You're gonna find it right here on my channel. So now I'll get started to make my sardine bread. It's gonna come out absolutely fine and perfect. I make it real here on YouTube. No fast forward when you're making live stream. I'm making it for real, and I'm making an absolutely gorgeous bread. You're gonna see it from start to finish. So before I get started, I'll introduce myself again, and what we're gonna be doing today. So I said this is Cook with Chef Francis, and my name is Francis. So welcome. If you are watching from the US, welcome all over the world. The UK, the US, Canada, Australia, Germany, South Korea, Romania, Nigeria, Philippines, India, rest of the world, Denmark, Greece, Italy, France. I got people watching me all over the world. So this is a very nice channel, and always stay put to this lovely channel. Keep watching every day and make it your favorite channel. Now I'm gonna start now to make my beautiful and cute sandy bread. So I need to be careful, because when you're making sandy bread, if you make any mistake, you're gonna ruin it. I told my viewers, if you are making bread, you need to be very careful, because when you're making bread and when you're proving it, we're doing 3 stages of proving. When you're proving your bread, you need to be very careful. So we need to be careful, because when you prove it and you make any mistake by causing bruises or injury on the bread, it's not gonna rise, and it's gonna come out like something horrible, with bruises and marks and all that, and it's gonna look deflated and something. It's not gonna rise. So we need to be very careful. We want the proving stage to work perfectly fine. So I'm gonna show you the step how I normally do it from start to finish. So let's get started, my friends. So now I'll be telling you the recipes, and the actual recipes. Please do not change it. And I'll put on my warm water now. I'll heat up my water. I got a saucepan here. That's my saucepan with water. So I'll put on the hob and allow the water to boil away for about 1 minute, 2 minutes. Then I'll get started. So my friends, I'll be using my lovely bowl. I got the plastic one there. I could use the steel one if I want to, but this is bigger. So I'll be using the baby one to weigh my flour. Yeah, I need my scale, so I'm gonna get my scale now. That's my scale, my friends. So I'm gonna weigh my flour now. I need 500 grams of plain white flour. That's what I need. So now I'm gonna weigh that now. I'll beat that, I don't need that. Yeah, I'll be using this because let me use this to weigh. I'll use this to weigh. So my friends, I got my flour. That's my flour, 500 grams of plain white flour. My water is almost ready, so I'm gonna weigh my water now. Let me clean my mess. So my friends, my water is warm, so I'll put that off. So I need my wooden spoon. That's my wooden spoon. So I'll be telling you the recipe now. So I've weighed my flour. My flour is 500 grams. So I weigh that, and I need nutmeg, 1 tablespoon of nutmeg. I need pinch of sea salt or pinch of table salt. It's up to you. I need 1 to 2 sardines. It depends on the quantity I need, but I need about two sardines, from 1 can or tin. So I'll be using 2, or I could use 1 if I want to, or 1.5. And of course I need flavor, 1 teaspoon of flavor. So I need olive oil, 2 tablespoons, and I need yeast, 1 tablespoon. So I'm gonna start the first stage. When you're making your bread, it's same thing. You're making white bread, you're making milk bread, you're making chocolate bread. This is the process, except when you're making ciabatta or whatever. You could go in different process or similar process. But in this process, when you're making your normal bread, our normal bread, loaf bread, the white bread, the milk bread, the chocolate bread, this is the process. Now I'm making sardine bread. Now I'll be making the fermentation method. That's the first stage. You wanna ferment your yeast. You want to activate your yeast. So what I normally do, I used to weigh 400 milliliters of water, and I'll activate the yeast in that water. Then add a little bit of flour. About I got like 500 grams of flour, so I'm gonna add about 200 grams of flour and leave the remaining 300 grams. I'll set that aside. So I'll need about 100 200 grams of water. I beg your pardon, 200 grams of flour and 400 milliliters of warm water. This is the standard recipe to follow. If you follow this recipe, my friends, you're gonna get it absolutely right. So let's get started, my friends. Thank you very much. Now I'm gonna weigh my my water. That is absolutely hot. I need to make it warm. So I'm gonna check with my probe. I got my thermometer with me, my probe, so I'll check what temperature it is. Yeah, this is too hot, so I need to, mix it with another water, like a cold water. I need to make it warm. So now, that's warm. That's not hot. That's warm. Yeah, that's warm enough. Yeah, that's absolutely nice. Now, I'm gonna pop back my my probe right into my chef white, my chef jacket. So now I'm gonna weigh my water. So my friends, I'm gonna weigh my water now. So I need 400 milliliters of warm water. Yeah, that's on 3. Yeah, that's 405. But I don't need to use everything. So I need 400. That's 400 now. So I'll set that aside. I don't need it anymore. I'll put that away. I'll put this away. I don't need it anymore. So my friends, I'm gonna activate my yeast now. So I'll pour that in, and that's the warm water. So I'm gonna add my yeast, 1 tablespoon of yeast. Yeah. So that's 1 tablespoon. I'll put that away. Now my friends, I'm gonna stir my yeast. You can see I'm doing that. So when you stir your yeast, you're gonna have when you stir your yeast, you're gonna have some bubbles. Like you see it bubbling, and when it bubbles, you know your yeast is active. But if there's no bubbles right in there, you know your yeast is dead. And when someone uses a dead yeast to make a bread, it's not gonna rise. Especially when the yeast, there's hole in the yeast or whatever, the air have gone into the yeast. If air goes into the yeast, when you store them on the dry store, they're gonna be weak. So always keep them airtight. You know, keep them airtight when you use the one in the container. But when using the sachet one, the one from the sachet, you're safe. So now I'm gonna show you some bubbles there. And of course, if your water is very hot, it's gonna kill the yeast. Now I'm gonna pop in about 200 grams of flour into my lovely yeast. So I'll keep stirring that. Yeah, that's 200. So I'll keep stirring. That's all right. So just try to make it smooth. Now I'll leave this to rest for 10 minutes. I want it to proof for 10 minutes. Then after 10 minutes, I'll add my remaining ingredients right there. So now I'm gonna put on my timer. So I'm gonna set my timer. It's already 1 minute already, so I'm gonna give it 9 minutes. So start now. Yeah, already. Yeah, that's 11 minutes. Made a mistake. So I'll give it 9. It's already 1 minute already. So it's beeping now. So I'll leave that to rest for about 8 or 9 minutes. That should be enough. So in 8 minutes, I'm gonna put the rest of my ingredient. I'll be right back, my friends. Thank you. So my friends, I'm back. So while we're waiting for the yeast to ferment. So let's give it some time. So after that, I'll be adding the rest of my ingredients. So I'll repeat my ingredients again. I got 400 milliliters of water right in here, and flour about 200 grams right in here. But my total flour is 500 grams. And I'll be adding nutmeg 1 tablespoon, olive oil 2 tablespoons, pinch of salt, and a little bit of uh, vanilla flavor. So I want my vanilla to add flavor to my recipe. So I will adding flavor to that vanilla flavor. Now, let's check what time it is. We got 5 minutes more. So in 5 minutes, I'm gonna add the remaining flour straight into the mixture. You know, it is absolutely lovely and absolutely, you know, I cannot wait to have my sardine bread. So let's keep our fingers crossed while we wait for that to double in size. In about 4 minutes time, and I'll finish up. I'll be right back, my friends. Thank you. Yeah, my friends, I'm back now. I'm gonna add the rest of my ingredients. So now I'm gonna add the rest of my flour in bits. So it's enough. 7 minutes is enough. So we're doing live stream. I don't want to take too much time. Now, more flour. So I'll keep stirring. More flour. I'll keep stirring. Now I'm gonna grab my milk in the fridge. I need milk. So I'll be adding about 2 tablespoons of milk. So I'm using the British semi-skim milk. So I'm gonna pop that. That's enough. Now I've added my milk, my friends. I'm gonna add my nutmeg. I'll be adding about 1 tablespoon of nutmeg. So I'll put that away. I don't need that anymore. My nutmeg, 1 tablespoon right in there. Now I'll add my flavor, vanilla extract or vanilla flavor, 1 teaspoon. That's it, my friends. I'll put that away. So I'm gonna stir that now. I'll add my flour, the rest of my flour, the remaining flour, and keep stirring. Now, my friends, I'm gonna add I beg your pardon, olive oil, about 2 tablespoons of olive oil, right straight in there. I'll add my flour, everything. I'll put that away. I don't need that anymore. I made some mess. Yeah, that's why you need a protective covering when you wear something like that. It protects you from death and all that. So that's alright. Now I'm gonna add salt. I always add salt last so that it doesn't kill the yeast. So I'll put a pinch of salt, because when you put your salt from the very beginning, it's gonna kill the yeast. So because the yeast love flour, it needs to activate to work properly. So I'll keep mixing that now. Now I'm done with that. Now I'll pop my hands in and start kneading right into the bowl. Now I'll sprinkle flour on my work surface and start kneading my soft dough. Yeah. So I'll pop that on the work surface. Yeah. Yeah, I got a nice soft dough now, so I'm gonna knead that very well. You see how I'm kneading? I'm stretching and folding. So I'm gonna knead for at least 10 minutes or something. Yeah, I want it very smooth, so I'll keep kneading. Keep kneading, my friends. Just keep kneading. Then I'm gonna wash my hands. I want my hands perfectly smooth so I can finish up my job neatly. I'm gonna add olive oil to make it smooth. So I'm gonna be using that flour to knead, and after that, I should be enough. That should be enough for kneading. So I'll put this away. I don't need that anymore. I'll put that away. Now, my friends, I'll keep kneading my lovely dough. You can see it's soft and non-sticky. So I'll keep kneading that. Lovely, soft and non-sticky dough. So I'll put on my timer because I'll be kneading this wonderful dough for 10 minutes. So I've already been doing that I've done that for like 3 minutes. So I'll just add 7 minutes now. Or let me add 8 minutes. So, my friends, this is the second stage. I would like to prove my dough for the second time. So before I do that, I need to make this dough nice and smooth, nice and soft. So it's already nice and soft, but I want it nice and smooth and absolutely, glossy before I put it for the second proving to make it double in size. So just keep watching what I'm doing. I'm, kneading it with my 2 hands. So it's a simple process. So just keep doing that. Like use your 2 palms, move it around. You keep doing that. It's a very easy method, I just like to move it with my 2 palms. You roll it over the work surface. Yeah, I'm trying to take. Don't need this anymore. Put that away. I don't need this anymore. I'll put that away. So you just keep rolling with your 2 palms. See what I'm doing? Like you just do it that way. You want it very smooth, so you just keep doing that. And you put it on the table. You want it to double in size quickly. And You want it smooth, so you like tap it on the table and you keep rolling. You know, you want it very smooth. Can you see it's non-sticky? Look at my hands, non-sticky. You know, you want the dough to work perfectly fine, so you keep doing that. You keep doing that. You know, some people they use stick, like, you know, some bakers they love to use stick while doing that. Yeah. But what I do, I don't use stick. You know, I have my table with me, so I can beat it on the table, and you know, keep rolling. You know, you want a very smooth dough without bruises or injury on it. So you need to do this. But if you don't do this, my friends, the dough is gonna have injury and bruises all over it. So we just need to do this for about 8 minutes. You could do just for 10 minutes, but I'm making a live stream, so I want to make it quick. That's why I'm doing that for 8 minutes. So just keep rolling. Make sure it's not sticky, and make sure your dough is very soft. You can see that, nice and soft, and not sticky. Nice and soft and not sticky dough. Keep doing that. You can see it's very smooth, becoming very smooth, and you can see when I touch it, it's nice and soft and non-sticky. Nice and soft, non-sticky. Nice and soft, non-sticky. I have 4 minutes more. I'll show you again, my friends. Nice and soft, non-sticky, no bruises on it. So now I'm gonna keep doing it like this, and I'll check again. No bruises. Looks absolutely nice. Yeah. 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 Yeah, that's nice. So now, my friends, I got a very nice smooth dough. So I'm gonna add a little bit of oil on the work surface. And you know, finish up with the kneading with that little bit of olive oil. I want it to shine. So now I got my nice soft and non-sticky ball of dough. So I'm gonna, like, you know, can you see how nice and round it is, like a football? You know, I can even play with it. Look at that, my friends. You see? Nice and soft. Nice and soft. Can you see that, my friends? It looks very nice. So I'm gonna pop that into my oil bowl. Now I'm happy with my ball of dough. It's already rising. The yeast is activated already. It's nice and soft, nice and round, nice and smooth. Looks absolutely gorgeous. Now I'm happy with this. Look at that, my friends. Nice and round, nice and soft. You know, look at that, non-sticky dough. So now I have that with me. I'm gonna pop a little bit of olive oil right in my bowl and oil the bowl and pop my lovely dough right in there. Now my dough, my lovely dough is right in there. I'll cover it up with cling film and put it in one place. So this is the second proving I'm doing now. I'm gonna wash my hands now. Now my friends, I'm gonna cling film that. Yeah, it's dipping already. Just finished. So now I'm gonna cling film that. So now my friends, I'm gonna pop that in the one place until it doubles in size. So I'll give it 30 minutes and see what's going on in 30 minutes. While that is rising, I'll be doing I'll be explaining what I did from start to finish, like a food vlog. So now, start. So at least 30 minutes. So my friends, I'm gonna clean my work surface again. I always stay clean, so I always clean my work surface. So I got a clean work surface, so I'm ready. So I'll be right back, my friends. Just a second, please. Thank you. My friends, let me wash the sardine. I need to wash it. My friends, you see, I already started and I made my dough. My dough is almost ready. So I put my dough in the oven for, you know, for 30 minutes. But please note, my oven is not on. So, just in one place. You could put yours in the cupboard. But if the kitchen is very hot, like maybe if you are working in the restaurant kitchen, it's always hot because it's a busy kitchen, so the place is always hot. So you can leave your dough anywhere in the hot ladder. You could put it anywhere close to the oven, on it or by the side or something. It's gonna double inside very quick. But here in my kitchen, it's not really warm, and my oven is not on, so it's not a busy kitchen. It's just like the home kitchen, the one you usually have. So right here, um, it's not really warm, so I have to put it in a cupboard or in the oven not on, because my oven is like a cupboard. You know what I mean? Like it's not on, so I use like a cupboard. So if I put my dough there, the yeast is gonna work and it's gonna be activated quickly, because when you want your yeast to work properly, it needs a warm environment. And that's why we use warm water. I always say this when I make my bread. If you watch my milk bread live stream, the one I made 2 days ago, you will see I checked it with the thermometer as well, my probe. I checked it and I found out that the temperature was about 33 degrees Celsius. When you use about 33 degrees Celsius for your warm water, and of course your yeast is gonna grow and grow and perfectly stay alive before it dies. But if the water is extremely hot or hot, the yeast is gonna die. It's not gonna work. So your yeast doesn't need hot water. It needs warm water. And sometimes it could need cold water. It depends on what kind of bread you're making. But of course, you need something warm and not something hot. So my friends, it's better for your water to be warm or not really warm, just a little bit cold, than when it's hot. So I'll be back again to explain what I'm talking about. Thank you very much. So my friends, I'll check what's going on now and see if it's almost ready. Uh, you can see it's rising. I'm gonna have some bananas while we wait. I would like to just a second, please. I will, talk on that now. We have 15 minutes more. So now, my friends, I finished enjoying my banana. So now, let me tell you what I'm gonna be doing now. And before that, I'm gonna give you a recap again. So if you're just joining this live stream, as I said earlier, this is Cook with Chef Francis. My name remains Francis, and this is Cook with Chef Francis, live on YouTube. Making it real on YouTube, making real videos, you know what I mean, like real videos. And now, I'll be making sardine bread, and I started and I, explained what I did. I mentioned the recipes, I mean basic ingredients that I use to make this sardine bread. But we still halfway, we're not yet done. So we still on it. And I use my favorite recipe. You know, when I make bread, I have favorite recipes. And it's always same recipes, similar, you know what I mean? Like milk bread, chocolate bread, raisin bread, seeded bread, same flour, same yeast, but a little bit different. Like, when you're making raisin bread, you add raisins. If you're making seeded bread, you add some seed, a variety of seed. If you're making chocolate bread, you add chocolate or cocoa powder or something, to really make it brown, Then, if you are making, what do you call it? It depends on what kind of bread you're making. Like, anything you want to add to it, just the name of the ingredient makes it the bread. So, in our milk bread, I made the recipes, and at least I forgot sugar or something, so I'm gonna amend that, no worries with that. When I'm doing my second kneading, I'll add sugar to it, but I forgot to add sugar. So I'll bring up my sugar now. I need about 3 tablespoons of sugar, but I'm using the unrefined brown sugar, which is caster sugar. Sometimes when you're cooking, you can forget some ingredient, like it's really complicated. Cooking is not easy, like, it's complicated sometimes. You forget something, maybe you forgot to put salt or whatever. So I'm gonna grab my sugar now. So I always say we are surgeons, like chefs are like surgeons. So you can make amends. You can work on your ingredient again. If you forget to put red wine, maybe you added 50 grams or 50 milliliters of red wine, and you needed 100 grams. You could still add it at the end or something, and make some adjustment. So I'm still gonna adjust my sardine bread. I'm still gonna add my sugar anyway. I'm gonna try to put my sugar right in there, so it's still safe. But I don't want to disturb my dough now. When I'm doing the second proving, I'll add my sugar. But of course, your sugar should be added when you're mixing all your ingredients. So I'll just be adding a little bit of sugar, about 3 tablespoons. Now I will explain what I did, and I will repeat my recipes again. as I said earlier on, I am making sardine bread, and the recipes are 500 grams of flour. You could use a strong white bread flour, you could use a plain flour, it's up to you, but when you're making bread, the standard basic recipe is using the strong white bread flour. Now, I need 500 grams of strong white bread flour or plain flour, 3 tablespoons of caster sugar or the unrefined brown sugar. I love using the unrefined brown sugar to make my bread because it looks absolutely healthy. That's the brown sugar right there, the unrefined one. You can also use the white one if you want to, but I'm using the unrefined brown sugar. I also need 1 tablespoon of ground nutmeg. I need 1 tablespoon of dry yeast. I also need a pinch of sea salt or a pinch of table salt, but I love using sea salt. And I need 2 tablespoons of olive oil, a little bit of olive oil. Now, what did I do? And I also need 400 milliliters of warm water. So what did I do, my friends? I weighed my flour, 500 grams of flour, and I set that aside with a baby bowl. Then next, I used a big bowl, the big plastic bowl. You can use a steel one if you want to, anyone, doesn't really matter. So in that bowl, I added 400 milliliters, which is same thing as 400 grams of warm water. I weigh the water and I pour it straight into the bowl. Then I added my yeast, 1 tablespoon of yeast, and I kept stirring with a wooden spoon so that the yeast becomes, activated, and it was bubbling. You saw the bubbles. That shows the yeast is active. But if I was using hot water, it's gonna kill the yeast. So I always use warm water, about 33 degrees Celsius. So now, when you dip your hands in warm water, it's warm, it's not hot. But if it's hot, of course, you're gonna do that with it. You don't want to burn your hand. So now I added the warm water, added the yeast, mix everything, and I weighed 500 grams of flour. What I did, I added some part of the flour, about 200 grams of flour, straight into the yeast mixture. And I popped the remaining 300 aside. And I used my wooden spoon. I kept mixing it, until it was smooth. And when it was smooth, I set that aside to double in size for 8 to 10 minutes. That's the first proving stage. You want the yeast to ferment, so that's what we're doing now. Fermentation, fermentation process, takes place during that proving stage. So now that was the first proving. Then the second one, I need to make a dough. So why that one is double in size, the first proving, like the fermentation process, which already took place. Now ready, what I did was to add the remaining 300 grams of flour in beads, and I kept stirring with a wooden spoon. Then I added the nutmeg, 1 tablespoon of nutmeg, added a pinch of sea salt, sugar. You need to add sugar, but I forgot my sugar, so I will be doing that later. You add sugar, olive oil, and the rest of the ingredients. You keep mixing. When you mix, you get a ball of dough. And what I did, after mixing, I transferred my ball of dough straight on my work surface. I got a soft and non-sticky ball of dough. So I placed it on my work surface, but my worktop was floured. I had flour on my worktop. So I kneaded the dough, the soft, non-sticky dough on my worktop, and it was very smooth. I kneaded that for 8 to 10 minutes. I kept doing that, like I was rolling with my 2 palms, and kept rolling that, and I was beating it on the table because I want it to, be very smooth. So I kept doing that. If I was using in a factory, they could beat it with a stick or something in the bakery or whatever. But what I'm doing, I don't beat it with a stick. I beat mine on the table and like, keep rolling to make it very smooth. And at the end, I add a little bit of olive oil on the table and I give it a nice shining effect. And I like did it that way to get it like a football, and there was no injury or bruises on the bread. It was very smooth. So I kept doing that, and I got something very smooth. And what did I do? I placed the dough right into an oil bowl. And what did I do? I place it there and I cover with cling film. And I pop that into my oven, not on. So when I pop it there, I left it there for 30 minutes, but it's been there for about 24 minutes now. So we got 6 minutes left. So in 6 minutes, I'll be doing the second stage, the third stage proving, and at this stage, I'll be adding my sanding. You know what I mean? So I'll be adding my sanding because I want a perfect, lovely sanding bread. So I'll show you the process. So stay connected, stay put. Do not leave the live stream, because if you leave the live stream, you're gonna miss the main part of the sanding bread, because this very part is tricky, and if one does not follow the method, the sanding is not gonna the bread is not gonna rise and everything's gonna die. So we need to be very careful at this moment. So now just give me let's give it 5 minutes, then we get started to finish up our job. We finish up where we started. So have patience, my friends. Thank you very much. So my friends, I'm back now. I said I forgot to put sugar in the dough. So what I'll be doing, I'll be careful at this process. So because we're supposed to mix it in the dough, but I forgot. So now, what I'm gonna be doing. Now you can see our dough is nice. It's double in size. So I'm gonna open up my. I'll open the sanding now. So I'll pop my sanding into the bowl. I need about 2 sandings. I might not use everything. I'm just gonna use 2 of those. But I could use 1 or 1.5. But I'll just open up the sanding now. I don't like to open sandings. Sometimes you can get injury if you're not careful. Just do it gently. They take time to open. So my friends, what I normally do, I always use like a spoon to mash my sanding. It's already 30 minutes. So I said you could leave your dough to rise to double in size for at least 30 minutes. So that's all right. So I'll be giving it 10 more minutes or 5 more minutes while I'm doing this. So, or 5 minutes more. So in 5 minutes, I'll take my dough and start working on it. So now I'll use my spoon to mash. It's beeping now, so I'll stop that. So I'll remove it from the cupboard and start adding my sanding. So I'm gonna grab my spoon and mash the sandings with a spoon because I need the oil as well. I don't want to get rid of the oil, so I'll mash everything together. It looks absolutely nice. It's gonna be a lovely sanding bread. So I always mash it together with the oil. I bought sanding in sunflower oil, which is a little bit cheaper. But sandings in olive oil is expensive. So I bought that one, that's alright. It doesn't really matter. The same sandings, just in oil, in olive oil or sunflower oil. So whichever you buy, that's alright. There's one of tomato, don't buy that one. Use this one for the sanding bread. Comes out very fine. Unless you're making tomato bread, then you can use the one in tomato. But if you want to use that one, that's alright. Well, I'm using the sunflower oil, sanding bread in sunflower oil. So I'm gonna try my sanding. Tastes absolutely fine. Now I'm gonna grab my dough. Now my friends, I forgot my sugar. That's my lovely dough. You see it's nice and soft. Look at how smooth it is and nice and soft. Can you see that lovely dough? So now, because I did not add sugar, I forgot my sugar. But please don't do this. Remember to put your sugar. You need about 3 tablespoons, but I will just like pop a little bit. About 3 tablespoons we need, but I'm using the brown one. So I'll just like to finish up my mixing. I'll just mix my sugar straight in there. I don't need too much. But please remember, you do that when you're adding your nutmeg and everything. So I'll pour out my sugar. I forgot to bring my sugar out. That's why I forgot. So it happens sometimes. So I'll pop that back in the cupboard. So now I don't need this. I'll put that away. Now, my friends, I'm gonna need my dough again on the table. You know the process. You know, when your dough is ready, you need to give it a second kneading. You know, when it's out from the, we do again second time before we prove the last time. And we keep beating it again. Same process. Because when it rises, you don't put it straight into the bowl. You're going to ring it. You need to bring it down again and knead it a second time. So when you knead it a second time, your dough comes out perfectly fine. Yeah, this is absolutely lovely. You know, gorgeous. I love it, my friends. So I love this method. You beat on the table, and you see it's coming out smooth again. You know, and perfectly fine. And you do that. You keep rolling it. You know, it's coming out fine. Now, my friends, I'm gonna grab my my loaf pan. That's my loaf pan, and I need a baby pan for my I'll be using that for the rolls, for the bread rolls. So I need parchment paper. So I just need a little bit, just a little. So that's what I need now. Oh, it's not going in properly. I want it tight. So I'll put that away. So my friends, now I'm gonna grab butter, I'm gonna oil. I'll be right back. Let me just allow that to melt. So my friends, now I'm gonna oil my lovely pan. That's about, let me check it. It should be about 11 inches. You can use your measurement tape, 11 inches by 3. So I'll double check. So chefs always use tape as well, not just for the tailors or for the carpenters. We also use tape. So I'm gonna measure that as 11 inches by so 11 by 3 inches loaf pan or bread pan. So I'm gonna pop that straight into the cupboard. Now, my friends, I'm gonna butter my. I'm using unsalted butter, so I'll butter my pan. Yeah. But for the bread rolls, I'll be using the baking paper, so no need to butter that. So that should be enough. I'll put that away. I don't need that anymore. Now that's in the fridge, so I'm gonna butter my pan. So you can see that, my friends. So I got my pan buttered, so I'll set it aside. Now my dough is still rising, so I'm gonna beat it again. It's really active, very nice. So I'm gonna cut out a little bit for my bread roll. So I'm gonna cut out just a little bit. That should be enough for my bread roll. I just want to make like 2 bread rolls. That's enough. So I'll set that aside. I don't need this, so I'll set that aside as well. Now I'm gonna finish up with my dough. I'm gonna smoothen it again. So I'll set that aside. I'm gonna need this one. I can use one hand. Put that aside. I'll put that aside. Now I'm gonna finish up. So I'm gonna, top it with sanding now. But at this stage, we need to be careful. So I'll be right back. Just a second, please. Thank you. Yeah, my friends, now I'm ready. So I'll be adding my sanding. I need to be careful when I'm doing this, because if I don't do it very well, I'm going to ruin it. So the top needs to be smooth. So the top is smooth now. So what I'm going to be doing now is smoothing it one more time. So now I'm going to place my sanding. So what I'm going to be doing, the smooth side will be at the bottom. Smooth side at the bottom. Then I'm going to open up my bread with my hands. I don't need a rolling pin. I want the bottom to be nice and smooth. So of course I want an oval shape. So now I'm gonna place my sandings right in there. You gently place them. You don't want to put too much, but I believe that one should be all right. It's perfectly fine. Now I'm going to gently seal my bread, gently. So so it's like the sanding is too much, so I'm going to take out some. Yeah, don't want to put too much, isn't it? So I'll be sealing that. Yeah, that's enough now, because you see, I need to seal it up. If you put too much, you're going to ruin it. So, because you need to seal your bread. I see I've sealed that up. So I'm using about one sanding. One sanding is alright for one loaf. One sanding for one loaf, that's alright, my friends. So I've sealed the edges with my fingers. And my sandings are protected like if it's in a bag or something, like it's in there. Now I've gotten a nice sealed, I've sealed that up. Now I'll gently place that in my pan. So you can see I've gently placed that in my pan, and I'll leave that to double in size again. I'll pop that straight into the in the oven, not on, in the cupboard. So when it doubles in size, and I'll bring it out and I'll start baking. So I'll do that to the smaller one as well. So one sardine is alright for that one. So I'm gonna be making. I'll do the same thing. I'll flatten that and add a little bit of sardine. So I will do the same thing. What I did, I'll seal up the edges. Same thing when I'm making a bread roll. This one is for the bread roll. So I'm gonna seal up the edges, then make it round. I wanna make it round, so now I forgot to do something. I'll show you something now. You could just like, take a little bit of sardine and rub it all over the bread. You want it nice, sardines to be on the bread as well. So you could just, rub the sardine all over the bread. It gives you that nice color, So while it's rising, you got some sardine all over it. You know what I mean? Like, it's gonna look nice. You're gonna have a nice color. Can you see that, my friends? So that's a lovely sanding color. So I'm going to pop that straight into the oven, not on. So I'm doing the second proving. I want it to rise up before I bake. So my friends, I got my rolls. So I'm gonna do the same to that one as well. I'm gonna rub the sanding on it, on the loaf. So I'm gonna place that on the, I'm done with that one. So I'll do the same to this one. Just a little bit. So I'll seal that up again, same way, and make a circle. Now rub a little bit of that one on top. Looks absolutely nice. So I'll leave that to double in size. So I'm going to pop that straight in the oven, not on. I can use my sandings, my mini sanding later, pop it in the fridge. Now I'll clean my work surface. Our standing bread is almost ready, so I'll be baking it in just in a couple of minutes. I'll be right back, my friends. Thank you. Well, my friends, I'll be. Let's just wait for like. I'm gonna set the timer for 20 minutes. So let's see what happens in 20 minutes. If our dough doubles in size in 20 minutes, I'll put it straight in the oven. Yeah, my friends, our dough is in the oven now, but the oven is not on. So I added a time. I added my time. I'll be using 20 minutes. I wanted to cook for 20 minutes to double in size. So I will continue from where I stopped. So I said after mixing my dough, I place it in the oven, not on, in a one place like a cupboard or something, and it doubled in size. So I brought out my dough and flattened my dough on the work surface. Actually, I kneaded it for. You see, when I was kneading, I didn't add any oil or any or whatever like uh, what do you call it, flour on the worktop. I didn't do that because my dough is already nice and soft and nice and non-sticky. It looks absolutely gorgeous, like a football, lovely dough. So if your dough is hard, your the yeast is not gonna work anymore. If the dough is very soft, it's gonna like have lots of bruises and it's gonna be ruined. So you just need a nice soft nice and soft sticky dough, nice and round. So you know what I did? I kept kneading it again. It's the same way I did when I did the first kneading. I kneaded it very well, and I had a nice ball of dough. And I made an oval shape. When I made an oval shape, I flattened the oval shape, like like an American football or something. So I flattened the oval shape. So when I flattened it, I took my sanding, my mash sanding, one sanding is alright, my friends. One sanding, I added it out. I mashed the sanding with the sunflower oil, and and I topped it on the bread, on the flattened over dough. So when I topped it, you know what I did? I took my two hands and like seal it. You know, I seal it up. I was very careful because if I did not seal it up, it's gonna be ruined, and the sand is gonna be dripping out from the dough, and when you bake your bread, it's gonna be forked like it's gonna be crazy. So what I did was to gently seal it up and then place it in a buttered loaf pan. So for the other one, what I did for the other one, I took another tray, a baby tray, and I lined that with baking paper because I'm not adding butter, so I only added baking paper to that one. So I'll be using that one. That one's for the roll, the bread rolls, So I rolled it and added it on the I lined it with baking paper, and made the same thing. Made a round shape, flatten it, added my sanding, seal it up, and then place it on the tray. And they are right there in the oven, so they're almost ready, but it's in the one place. So when I'm ready, I'll bake it. So remember I rubbed sanding on top, so you see it's almost rising. It's getting to the top. So that one is also rising. So let's give it some time. It's gonna be super soft. So let's give it 40 minutes. I'll be right back, my friends. Thank you. I don't need olive oil, so I'll put it away. I'll be right back, my friends. Thank you. Yeah, my friends, we have 8 minutes more, so we check what's going on now. It's almost getting to the top, and that one is already big. So in 8 minutes, in 8 minutes, I'm gonna turn my oven on and bake my bread. So let's have some patience. We're making bread. When you're making bread, uh, you need time for the dough to rise. If I was making something else, when you're in the kitchen and you're making bread, and of course you want to do something else, you save your time. While you're making bread, you could be cooking the meat, or you could be making sauces or something, and that's how you save your time. But in this case, I'm just making bread here live on YouTube, so just bread alone. So you need to bear with me. Just I have some break, and I'll be back again. So that's what I normally do. I go and come. So that's 7 minutes, and it's a food vlog, so I cannot be talking for longer hours. So sometimes I could just say something, but not you know it's not easy to cook for 3 hours. It takes up to 3 hours to make a bread. Because I'm making it I'm making it live. This is live, so that's why I'm using 3 hours, or sometimes I use 2 hours or 2 hours 30 minutes to make my bread. But believe me, if I was doing it here and not live, showing my friends, my viewers live, I could make my bread for even 5 hours if I want to. Because the longer it stays, the longer the bread, the yeast activates, and it gives you, the best result that you want. So sometimes you could leave it as long as you can. When you're proving, you could leave it for 2 hours to prove, for the dough to work and work and work. Get the perfect shape and perfect, super soft, and the bread's gonna sound hollow. When you make bread, it's gonna sound hollow. Your bread doesn't sound hollow. What happens? You don't make bread like like you make cake or something. So of course we have cake bread, but this kind of bread is not cake bread. We're making normal bread, very nice bread, but it's gonna look like a cake, but it's not cake. It's gonna be super soft, and very tasty. And I'm making the sanding bread, of course, full of sanding right in there, and I rub sanding all over it. It's gonna come out perfectly fine. So I'm happy today to make sanding bread, and I thank you for my viewers who have patience to watch me right here on YouTube. So as I said, this is my 14th live stream, so I've been making live streams. So check out my playlist, you're gonna see my live stream right there. So I'm very grateful. So before I end, before I put that when I put my bread in the oven, I will explain to my viewers what I did before the bread is out from the oven. So have some patience, my friends. Thank you very much. I have just 5 minutes left, so I'll be right back, my friends. Thank you. Yeah, my friends, I'm back now. Uh, so I'll be checking my dough. I'll pop my dough right here and start to bake. So I'll put on my oven now. So that's my wonderful dough. It kept rising. You know, it's growing. Keep growing. And look at the other ones, the baby ones. That's the bread rolls. So now I'll put on my oven because the bread is already risen. So I'll put on my oven and start baking my bread. So I'll preheat my oven to 5 minutes now. So I can smell the sanding all over it. I can perceive it. Nice aroma, isn't it? So I'll put my oven at uh, 190. You can use 180 to 200. So I'll set that 190 and 30 minutes. So I'll be baking for about 30 minutes, and I'll set at 35 minutes. So because I'm preheating the oven for 5 minutes. So the total time is gonna be about 35 minutes or something. So I'm setting at the gas mark. So that's it, my friends. So we'll be ready to bake now. So let us set that aside. Yeah, I'll be right back, my friends. Thank you. My friends, thanks for your patience. You can see the bread is risen already, so I'll pop it straight in the oven now. My oven is being preheated, so it keeps growing. You can see it kept growing and it's already at the top. So when you see your bread already at the top, then you know it's ready to bake. So now see the baby one, the bread rolls. So I'll pop that in the oven now. So my timer is at 20 minutes. So I'm gonna give it 25 minutes and see what's gonna happen in 25 minutes. So I believe in 25 minutes our bread should be ready. So I'll set that. I'll put the timer now and put my bread straight into the oven. Ready. That's on gas. Yeah, that's right. Uh, 25 minutes and I want on 190. So my friends, the bread's in the oven now. So let's give it 25 minutes and see what's going to happen in 25 minutes. I believe in 25 minutes our bread should be ready. And of course, the baby one, I always like to make a baby one, like a bread roll. So I'm gonna try that one. That one's gonna be ready before the big loaf. Of course, when you're making a loaf bread and when you're making the bread roll, and when you place them together in the oven, you should know the bread roll should cook before the bread loaves, the bigger ones. So the smaller ones, cooked first before the bigger ones. So when you bake in place, my friends, make sure you bring out the other ones first, because if you leave them to cook at the same time, the baby one is gonna get burnt while the other one is cooking, and eventually, if you want to bring them at the same time, the other one will be cooked and the baby ones will be burnt. So that's how we do it when we're cooking. We check bigger ones stay longer in the oven, and smaller ones needs to go out from the oven. So I'll remove the baby one, that's the bread rolls, I'll check on it in the next 10-15 minutes, and while I leave the other one to stay to cook longer. Yeah, my friends. So now, if you're just joining this live stream, as I said earlier on, this is Cook with Chef Francis, live on YouTube, making the reel on YouTube. So I make live stream every day, and today is my 14th live stream, and I made sardine bread. And yesterday, what did I make yesterday? Hope I didn't forget what I made yesterday. I made a milk bread 2 days ago, and the milk bread was really milky and very soft. You know what I mean? Like nice bread. But yesterday I made fish pie. I made a Nigerian fish pie, and the Nigerian fish pie is also eaten in the Caribbean. Same thing they make, but here in the UK, the US, and part of the European countries, when they make fish pie, like they put on they use the pie bowl, then you use a pastry to cover it, and you use a fork to eat it when it's cooked. But in the Caribbean and Africans, what we do, like we make a pastry, and we roll out the pastry, and we put the filling right in there, seal up the edges, and give you whatever shape you like, round, square, whatever shape you like, and bake it straight in the oven. So, but today I made sardine bread, so I'll be back in the next 5 minutes again, and I'm gonna be explaining what I did from start to finish. So if you're just joining this live stream, our bread is cooking in the oven, so we want to give it like in the next 10 minutes. I should check the baby one, which is the bread rolls. So when that one is out, and I'll demonstrate what I did again and wait for the other one to come out, and we're going to end the live stream very soon. Thank you very much. I'll be right back. Just a second, please. Thank you. Hello, my friends. I'm very happy because my bread is already, you know, already at the top. It's very big now. If you check the one in the loaf pan, it's already at the top. So we have 15 minutes more. So in the next 5 minutes, I'll be checking the baby one. Or in the next 10, let me give it 10 minutes more. The baby one should be ready in 10 minutes, and I believe in 15-20 minutes the the other one should be ready, the one in the loaf pan. So that's why I said 30 minutes should be alright for the loaf pan, and about 20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes should be alright for the baby one. So in the next 5 to 10 minutes I will check the baby one, which is the bread roll. So I'm gonna get my skewer now. I need to get my skewer because I'll use the skewer to check if my bread is ready. So that's what I'll be doing. So let's have patience, my friends. Thank you. So my friends, I have my skewer with me, and my sanding bread is, the aroma is coming out now. I can perceive the aroma from the bread, and of course when you perceive the aroma from your bread, you know your bread is almost ready. So that's why you see when you make a sanding bread, you need to be very careful, because your sanding could spill out from your bread. If you don't seal it very well, it's gonna be ruined. So I sealed the edges very well. The edges were well sealed, and when I placed it, I didn't add too many quantity of sandings. I use, initially I opened 2 sanding. I said I was using sanding in sunflower oil. I opened 2 sanding, and when I opened the sanding, I popped them in a bowl. 2 of those sanding in a bowl, and I took my spoon. I bought sanding in sunflower oil. I'll show you the one I'm using. So I use sandings, sandings in sunflower oil. They sell the one in olive oil, so that's alright if you want to use that. So I use sandings in sunflower oil, and what I did, I opened 2 of those, and I popped that in a bowl, and I took my my spoon, and I used my spoon to mash the sandings. So I got something nice and nice and amazing. Like, it looks very nice. So what I did, I set it aside, and the next thing for me to do, I took my dough and I flattened it, and I put my sanding right in there. So I was careful to make my oval shape, because I said if I was not careful and I just tried to put my sandings the way I like, it's gonna be ruined. You're making a dough. I want to put something to a dough. We need to be very careful with that, because we don't put it the right way, the sandings is gonna come out. And when it comes out from the bread, it's going to ruin it. Then the bread is not going to rise anymore. So you want it protected, you want something protected. So that's why the sanding needs to be in there. So that's why it's called sanding bread. And of course, you need to apply the sanding all over the bread as well to give it a nice, color. So when someone sees it, sanding is there. So of course, in there and out there. So sandings are very nice bread. It's eaten. Sanding bread are eaten in Nigeria. So that's why I said it's the sanding bread, and it's Nigerian sanding bread. The street of Nigeria, they sell sanding bread. Most bakeries they sell it. Many people like it. It's good for breakfast. Nice and soft, nice and hot. Hot sanding bread. You're gonna enjoy it. So this is a lovely loaf bread. Looks absolutely amazing, absolutely nice. I love it. So I made the bread roll as well, the baby one. So while my my bread roll is almost ready, I'll take it out from the oven and I'll show you, my friends, how it looks like. Then when I bring it out from the oven, I'll allow it to cool. Then I'll wait for the other one to be ready. That's the bread loaf, the bigger one. So I can perceive the aroma now. So I'll look what's going on straight into the glass and see if my bread is almost ready. So I have my skewer with me. So while my bread is cooking in the oven, if I bring out the smaller one, that's the bread rolls, I'll set it aside. And while that one is cooking, I will use the remaining 15 minutes we have. We're in less than 20 minutes, we should be ending the live stream. So I will explain what I did from start to finish again. When I explain what I did from start to finish, then you're gonna understand what I did, because our bread is amazing. I've seen it, it's absolutely gorgeous. It looks delicious and yummy, and it looks perfect. It's nice and perfect. So I'm gonna bring it out from the oven and show you how it looks like. It looks absolutely nice. So let me check what's going on now. Yeah. Let me check the smaller one now. Quickly. So my friends, you can see the smaller one. It should be ready now. So I'll just insert a skewer. So that one came out clean. It's ready. But let me just give it like 2 minutes more, or 5 minutes. But we still need to give it. So in the next 3 minutes, I'll bring out the baby one, and I'll still leave that one to cook. That's the massive one. I'll leave it to cook. It's nice and hot. I like it. It keeps me warm. When I place it on the table and I place my hand on the table, I felt very warm. Sometimes, when it's cold period, like the winter, you want to stay warm, isn't it? Yeah. So I love it. The bread smells very nice. So I'll give it 3 minutes. I'll be back to check my bread and finish live stream. Thank you very much for your patience. My friends, our bread is almost ready. So I said, let's give it. In the next 2 minutes, I'll be bringing out the baby one, which is the bread roll, and in the next 7 minutes, I'll be bringing out the bigger bread, or in the next 10 minutes, I beg your pardon. I believe so. In the next maximum 15 minutes, everything in the oven is ready in the next 15 minutes. I believe so. So it's not going to be more than 15 minutes for the big one. But the small one, in the next 2 minutes, I should bring it out. So I love. I can see through the oven. I can see the bread is absolutely nice, and the aroma is, it smells very great. Everywhere it smells, sanding bread. You know, lovely aroma, my friends. I love the bread. It looks absolutely gorgeous and smells very nice. You know, when you're in the bakery and you're perceiving, food from the bakery. Of course, when you pass in the bakery, this is a bakery because you're gonna perceive nice aroma coming out from different bakery, like bread or whatever, baked goods like bread, cakes, and all that. They smell very nice. They don't smell horrible. They smell nice. So I love the aroma from the oven now. It smells great, and I love the sanding. It smells like a sanding, and of course, and it smells like a bread as well. So I will bring it out the baby one. That's the bread roll. In the next 2 minutes, you know, and in the next 10 minutes, I should be bringing out the bigger one. So we should be ending our live stream in the next 20 minutes, on the next 24 minutes. So we got like 24 minutes more to end of this live stream. So I thank you, my friends, for for your patience and staying put to watch this great channel. So I'm gonna check my bread now and see what's going on, and I'm gonna insert a skewer. So I did that before. I brought out the bread to show you the bread rolls. I made 2 bread rolls and I made 1 loaf for the bread pan, the big one. So I'm gonna insert the skewer into the bread roll, the baby one, and if it comes out clean, then I know it's ready. So I'm gonna be doing that now. It came out clean already, but I want to try it again. But I wanted the top to be nice and golden. When you make it baking bread, you want the inside to be white, but the outside to be nice and golden. So I'll be doing that now, my friends. I'm gonna check that and leave. I'm also gonna check the bigger loaf and see if it's almost ready. So, but I'll leave that one in there because the smaller ones need to be ready before the bigger ones. So now I'm gonna check the baby bread. It should be ready, my friends. It's gonna look absolutely gorgeous, my friend. No doubt that one is ready. So now the bigger one is almost ready. So, but it's a little bit sticky. So I'll leave it there for the bigger one. I'll leave that one for 10 minutes. So in the next 10 minutes, I will bring out the bigger one from the oven. So it means the total time for the big one is 30 minutes and the total time for the small one is 15 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes for the baby ones. Maximum of 20 minutes for that one and maximum of 35 minutes for the big one. So I'm going to show you closer. I'm going to come closer to show you the nice result. You can see that it looks very hot. Look at the sanding on the bread. Look at the bottom. You can see it was sealed. I put the bread from the bottom. You can see, and I sealed it from the bottom, and it didn't open. It stayed together. And look at the top. Look at the steam from the bread. It looks absolutely nice. Look at the sanding all over it. I love sanded bread. Very nice, my friends. Look at the top of the sanding. You can see the sanding all over it. My friends, look at the bottom as well. It was well sealed. If I didn't seal it very well, the sanding is going to pour out from it. So look at that, my friends. And it looks absolutely soft. So I want it to cool a little before I press it to show you it's very soft, because right now it's very hot and you can see it looks glossy and shining. Lovely bread, my friends. So put that on the way. So um, the bigger one is still in the oven. So I cannot wait to bring that one because that one looks absolutely massive and big, and it looks absolutely nice. So that one, I'm gonna bring that one in the next 8 minutes. I'll switch off my oven in the next 8 minutes, and I'm gonna show you, my friends, how it came out. You know, but this one needs to cool. You can cool yours on the wire rack, or you could just, allow it to cool somewhere, anywhere you like. Just allow it to rest, set that one aside. Now, when in the next, you know 3 minutes, I'm gonna show you that my bread is soft, and I'm gonna try it, you know so then we'll wait for the bigger one as well. So you know what I mean, like when you make standing bread, you wanna make something very nice. So of course you wanna show the viewer that this is absolutely nice bread. It's gonna be nice and soft. You don't want to make something hard for your viewers. You want something nice and soft, my friends. So that's what we want, my friends. Lovely bread, nice and soft bread. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So now, I think my bread is not really hot anymore. So I cannot wait to try it because it looks amazing and it's really delicious. And I'm salivating now, like mouth watering, like you bring out your tongue when someone is hungry, and like when you see something nice and one start to salivate, and mouth watering dishes. So you gonna see something very nice and you put your eyes away from it. You still want to look at it and like you want to eat it. You know what I mean? Like, so now that's my bread. So I'm gonna bring it. I think it's a little bit cool now. Now I'm gonna show you that this is a lovely standing bread. Look at that. Oh my gosh! Look at that. Soft, nice and soft. You see, nice and soft. And of course, I used to tell my viewers, when you make bread, you need to peel it. If it doesn't peel, it's not bread. Can you see that it's peeling off? So it shows it's very nice. So now I'm gonna show you the sanding inside the bread. Look at that, my friends. Look at the steam, wonderful steam coming out from this bread. Absolutely lovely and gorgeous. Look at the sandings right in there. It's absolutely nice, isn't it? You see that, my friends? Look at that, my friends. Look at the steam from the sanding, and look at the sanding right in there. It looks absolutely gorgeous, isn't it? Lovely. Can you see that? I can even seal it up. I can seal it and I can reopen again. Look at that. Close and open. That's what we're looking at for in making sanding bread. If one is not a professional, it's going to ruin it. Like, you see, this is nice and perfect. Lovely sanding bread. So I'm going to try one. So this is nice and perfect. So I'm going to try it and show you that this is lovely bread. So I'm going to, of course, when someone makes food, you need to try it as a chef. So my friend, I don't want to say anything, Of course, if I don't want to say anything, of course I want to say something as well. When you're eating something very sweet, you don't want to say anything. So you're like, it's like you don't want to say anything, but you want to say something, isn't it? So I'm going to say something now. What I felt from that bread, I felt that the bread is not sugary. Not too much sugar. It looks absolutely healthy because there's the sand in there with omega-3 fatty acid, and the sand adds flavor to the bread as well. Then I had the nutmeg in there. I can feel it. It gives it's well spiced with the flavor, moderate flavor, well spiced. It gives it what you want. nice taste and everything. And of course, I'm not smelling any yeast in the bread. Of course, when you eat the bread and you're smelling yeast in that bread, then of course you know the baker did it wrongly. It means there's too much yeast in that bread, or the yeast did not die. Yeast needs to grow and die. So my own process is three stages. Of course, when you leave the yeast to keep growing, it's going to die. And when it dies, it's not going to smell anymore. So, and that's what I did. My bread doesn't smell yeast. It looks perfect. White inside is white inside, and golden at the top. So this is a lovely sandy bread. So now I'll quickly check the bigger loaf and see if it came out clean, because I have 2 minutes more to check that lovely loaf. Lovely sandy bread. Now I'm gonna check that now. So look at that, my friends. It looks absolutely nice. So I'll quickly pop that in. If it comes out clean, then it's ready. My bread is ready. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna switch off my oven. You know, that's what I normally do. I'll just pop it there to rest. I'll turn my oven off. You know, I'll turn my oven off. So I'm gonna get my wire rack, because I want to cool my bread, you know, on the wire rack. So I don't need the sanding anymore. I'll put that away. Now I'm gonna get my wire rack. I need a wire rack. So I'm gonna cool my bread on that wire rack. Yeah. I got that one there. I got that one there. Yeah, so I'll be waiting for the other one now. So I don't need this anymore. I'll put that away. So you see, my friends, how lovely my bread is. So I'll be waiting for, I got 22 seconds more. Yeah, 20 seconds more. So when this beeps, I'll take my bread, I'll remove my bread from the oven and place it on the wire rack. Then I'm gonna explain from the very beginning again what I did, because some of the viewers that are joining me, I'll explain everything from start to finish. Then I'll show you, I'll slice my bread and show you the inside. I'm going to end this live stream. Thank you very much. Thanks for your patience, my friends. So I don't need my timer anymore. I'll put my timer away. I don't need that anymore. So my friends, look at that, my friends. Lovely, absolutely gorgeous. Just look at the sandings all over the bread. You know, look how nice the bread is. Look at that. And the sanding is also inside. And look at how big it is on the loaf pan. It looks absolutely amazing, isn't it? So now I'm gonna insert the skewer into this bread. Came out clean, so it's perfectly ready. Sound hollow, look at that. Sounds hollow. So I need to allow that to like cool in the pan for 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, I'll pop it here as well to cool for another 10 minutes. So while that is cooling away, I'm gonna explain what I did from start to finish again. It's a lovely bread, isn't it? Looks absolutely amazing, absolutely gorgeous. So my friends, look at that. Look at that, my friends. Nice bread. So my friends, I'm gonna explain what I did from start to finish again. You know, when I started my video, my live stream, I introduced myself as Francis, and I said this is Cook with Chef Francis live on YouTube, making it real on YouTube every day. So I make live streams every day, and today I'm making what do you call it, sandy bread. So now I said the recipes. I'm gonna repeat myself again for the recipes. What did I use in making this bread? So what did I do? I weighed my flour. I use white flour, the plain white flour. But I told my viewers you could use the strong white bread flour. You can use the strong white bread flour or the plain white flour. That's all right. So today I use the plain white flour for my sanding bread. I weighed 500 grams of flour and I set that aside. I took a new bowl and in a saucepan I added 400 milliliters or 400 grams of water. I like that to boil away. When that water was warm, I probed it with my thermometer, with my probe, and I checked the temperature and it was about 33 degrees. 32, 33 is actually warm. And I poured the warm water straight into my new bowl. And I took 1 tablespoon of yeast, 1 tablespoon of yeast, and I popped that into my warm water, into 400 milliliters of warm water. And I took a wooden spoon and I kept stirring it until there were bubbles in the yeast. I wanted the yeast to activate, so to ferment, so I have to do that. So I'll continue with my explanation. Let me transfer this lovely sandy bread on the wire rack. Look at that, my friends. Looks, the bottom is well sealed. Can you see that, my friends? Look at the sanding. Can you see that? So I'll leave that to rest, but I'm gonna give it a few taps. Sounds low, isn't it? So now I'll set it aside. So put that one there. So I'll be slicing that bread in a it looks absolutely nice. So the bigger one, I'll be slicing it when I finish explaining what I did. So as I said, the lovely sandy bread, isn't it? Look at that, lovely, absolutely gorgeous. So we got the sanding all over it, and we got, it's lovely. So now I'll explain what I did again. So when the yeast starts to ferment, what did I do next? I already had 500 grams of flour weighed already, and I took about 200 grams of the white flour. From the 500, I took about 200 grams, and I popped it gently into the fermented yeast, and I kept stirring. So when I finished stirring, I set it aside and allowed it to prove. That's the first. It's 3 stages. So the first stage is the proving. Prove the yeast, ferment the yeast, allow to double in size. So I did that, and I set it aside. So after 8 to 10 minutes, I added the remaining flour plus 1 tablespoon of nutmeg, 3 tablespoons of sugar. Well, I made a mistake, so I added my sugar later, but of course you need to put the sugar right in here now. 3 tablespoons of sugar and a pinch of salt, 2 tablespoons of olive oil. I added olive oil, 2 tablespoons, and I kept mixing everything until I have a non-sticky soft dough, nice and soft and nice and non-sticky. So now when I did that, I transferred it on the floured work top. I floured my work surface. I added flour on my work surface, and I took my dough and I started kneading my dough. I kneaded my dough on the work surface. So my process of kneading when I'm making bread, you always see me. I make it perfect, because this is the problem many people have. Many bakers have this problem when they're kneading bread. The technique, we need this expertise in kneading. That's one of the stages of bread making, when you can make a mistake or something. Unless you have a bread maker, the bread maker is going to do it for you. But you want to do it by hand, of course, this is the stage. So now I need to knead it with my hand. I want it nice and smooth without bruises or injury, because your bruise and injury will make the yeast to pop out or something, and the bread is going to look horrible and ruined. So what I did was to keep rolling with my 2 palms. I kept rolling, and I made it nice and smooth. And I was beating the bread on the table as well. I kept beating the bread on the table, and I was rolling nice and smooth, and I was, beating on the table, and I got a nice dough. And what I did, I made an oval shape. I flattened the bread. I made an oval shape, and I took my mashed sanding. I said I'm using 2 sandings, but I didn't use everything. I used about 1.5 or something. But I used 1 sanding on this one, and a little bit of the half on the bread rolls. So I flattened my bread with my 2 hands, and I made an oval shape, and I took the sanding right on the oval shape, flattened oval shape dough, and I sealed it up, made an oval shape. I made sure there was no leakages, because there are leakages, you're going to ruin your bread. So I buttered my pan, and I placed my oval shaped bread right into that pan, and I didn't cover with cling film at this stage. I left it open. I flattened it with my hands, and I pop it straight into the oven. But my oven was not on, it's just a warm place. I want it warm, and that's why I did it that way. So and I kept it there to double in size again. And that one, the baby one, I made a round shape, flattened it, put the sanding right in there, and I seal the edges same way as I did to the loaf one. And I pop it on the lines on a tray lined with baking paper, and I put it in the oven on to allow to double in size again. I did that for about 20 minutes, 20-30 minutes, and when they were doubled, I preheated my oven for 5 minutes, at least 5 minutes. at 190 degrees Celsius. You can use 180 to 200, it's up to you. But within that range, 180 to 200, that's alright for bread. So I placed in the oven and I baked for that temperature, and my bread came out perfectly fine. I inserted a skewer to check if it was ready, and it came out clean. And because it came out clean, it shows my bread is perfectly ready, nice and ready. So now I opened this and I tried it. It came out fine. My bread was nice and soft. But now I'm gonna slice this in half and show you, my viewers, how it came out. And I'm gonna be ending this live stream in less than 10 minutes. Thank you, my friends, for your patience. So I'm gonna slice our massive loaf bread from just 500 grams of plain flour. We had that. So I'm gonna slice that. I'm gonna grab my knife. I have my pastry knife with me. When you're doing yours, you can use your chopping board, but I want to do my hair, so I'm gonna slice it. So my friends, I'm gonna show you. Look at that, my friends. Absolutely amazing, isn't it? Look at that, my friends. Absolutely gorgeous, isn't it? It looks amazing. Look at the sounding right in there. Look at that, my friends. So, my friends, you can see it's also soft. Can you see? Can you see that, my friends? Absolutely soft. So this is a nice, soft, super soft loaf. Can you see that? Super soft. Super soft. Super soft. Nice bread. So my friends, I'm going to be ending this live stream now. So I already tried my bread. I tried the baby one and it came out perfectly fine. So I'm going to end this live stream now. So before I end my live stream, so I'm gonna be thanking my friends watching from Romania, from UK, from Nigeria, from US, Canada, Denmark, France, Germany, China, South Korea, Portugal, rest of the world, Philippines and the rest. So thank you for your patience. Thank you for watching this live stream, and thank you for supporting my channel. So I'll be explaining. I'll be saying about. I'll be talking about my other live stream. I'll end this live stream. So you can check out my live stream. I got my live stream playlist. I made many videos now on my live stream. So you can check out my live stream on how to make cookies. That was the first live stream. The live stream I made a shortbread biscuit. That was the second one. How to make scones. That's the third one. We got how to make blueberry muffins. Focaccia bread. How to make ciabatta bread. How to make milk bread. And yesterday I made fish pie. How to make fish pie. There's another one they call it the Genoa sponge cake, chocolate Genoa. How to make that. So I made so many videos on there, about 15 videos now, 15 live streams. So check that out. Share them. Let people know that I'm doing something great on this channel. Right here on YouTube. Share my videos, watch my playlist, watch my newly uploads, watch the old ones, the popular ones, whatever. Watch, share, give it a like, leave a comment. Keep watching every day. My name remains Francis, and as I said before, this is Cook with Chef Francis live on YouTube, making it real on YouTube. So stay tuned for my next video. Same time tomorrow. You know, keep watching my videos. You know, keep sharing, keep giving a like, keep commenting. One love. Thank you very much. Merci. Ciao. See you next time. See you tomorrow. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.